Welcome back to Half-Life. And yes, we have a flashing screen warning. Why? Because we're dealing with the worst kind of puzzles. Warp
I
puzzles.
yeah, I thought you were just gonna say why. Well, we're gonna have to find out. We're gonna have to find out later.
No, I was gonna say that, but yeah, no. This is another episode of Yu gets lost in the game, but it's not due to him being an idiot. It's really annoying warp room puzzles. And let this beginning show off how annoying this part's gonna be.
Especially if you have no health.
Yeah.
So, I asked before about whether or not the game has a difficulty select. Do higher difficulties limit the amount of HP you get back from those recharging stations?
I don't think so, but I also haven't really played on easy mode. That was just a royally fuck you game. That was just royally fuck you games. Like, don't do that. That's why you really should not have threats like that.
Here's the thing. I kind of knew what to expect when the particle was like in the doorway. It would just shoot through the doorway. So yeah, I figured.
Yeah, but honestly, a smarter game designer would have gone, let's not have the lightning arc continue going through once you open the door.
Or maybe keep it that way. It's because it's challenging. I don't know. That's
or maybe just put a breaker panel or something like close to the door so you can disable the electricity arc or whatever.
Yeah, or don't have the arc right at the door.
Yeah.
I mean, through the door.
At the door.
Well, at the door, but also through the door. Mostly through. I'm fine with it being at the door, but not when it's like but when it's like through the door, that's when we got issues.
But that was like.
But again, I don't.
I was royally getting mad. I was getting mad.
Yeah.
Not a lot of stuff, but hey, at least now I have armor. I wish they kind of put health in that room too.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Cause it's like
at least you have health right there.
Yeah, but the lower one should have had health.
Yeah.
We come back to the other side of that room shortly.
Probably at like the end of it. I don't know.
I think I might No, I let this guard come with me. I let this guard come with me. I was confused why I didn't shot. Hey, there's that guy.
There's just some guy.
Yeah, I mean, we all know he's more than just some guy. If the Half-Life 2 intro is anything to
we also don't really know. We also aren't.
Thanks.
We literally know nothing about the guy until the end of the game.
Yeah. Jeez.
What does a G stand for? Google.
Goonies.
Gime.
I'll take Goonies over Gooners any day. Well, anyway.
I still find it interesting how the term, like, gooning even just became a thing in internet vocabulary. Like, how? Why did that word become associated with that?
Because our world
idiot.
is stupid.
Not idiot. No, it's because it's because the internet exists.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the the downside of giving every motherfucker on the planet free access to the world, or not free access, but really easily obtainable access to the World Wide Web, does cause some issues.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all for freedom of speech, but some people really need to learn to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Randy Pitchford.
Well, why him? What does he have to do with it?
He's the
basically,
CEO of Gearbox.
Basically, it's the whole stupid thing of, oh, if you don't pay $80 for the game, you're not a real fan thing.
Well,
But there are worse.
That.
There are people that are more deserving of shutting the hell up, more than just the CEO who says something stupid.
Yeah.
But this fact remains, he still is the kind of guy who still wouldn't shut the hell up.
There are worse
like
people. There are worse people.
So.
Yeah, I know there are worse people.
I do know that
just
there
saying
are
as an
people,
example.
I do know that people were asking about whether or not Borderlands 4 would cost like $80, but didn't he like reply with a very evasive answer that like he's not the one in charge of that? That depends on, you know, what Take-Two is going to price it at or something.
I believe so.
Yeah.
And anyway, yeah, welcome to the gimmick of this episode. Warp puzzles, just like I said. This is a pain in the ass.
3 times now. Alright, sorry. That was rude.
Well, yeah,
But yeah,
basically just find your way through the thing and get to
The end.
the top of this chamber.
Which would be the end.
And also, yeah, you see these moving? You also
gotta
need
stand
to
on those.
Yeah, you also need to time correctly.
Gotta jump.
Orange one sends you forward, green is sending you back.
It's the out. Orange is in, green is out.
Oh, that wasn't very nice.
No.
You gotta.
You might be wondering why I go through one and died, but went through another side and found weapons. Yeah, there's multiple in each of those and those entrances.
With multiple dead ends and everything.
Yep. And again, you have to time correctly. Luckily, there are only 3. Luckily, there are only three, so I've shown the first 2.
It feels like Valve just really likes maze like level designs for no reason.
Which that's not bad. That's not bad. But in this case, it's like no.
It's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
It's kind of a lot to worry about.
Yeah.
And if you make one tiny mistake, you go back to the beginning. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I agree with that.
Yeah,
that's also very much. Yeah, I could see why.
No, that one's
scripted.
Mad. That one's scripted. That one is royally scripted to basically kind of get you, to kind of scare you, which I kind of like that. That's a good scare.
That's fine.
Would you consider this game to be a horror game?
No.
No. But hey, you made it to the next level.
Because I did see some pretty scary elements in it throughout the playthrough.
There are scary elements, but they're not awful.
By the way, Ben, the center ring goes up and down.
No, it doesn't.
Maybe you should have told them that. I don't know, like half a year ago. Well, when did you record it?
I don't remember that. I don't remember.
This was like about a year ago. Like.
Yeah.
This was during like this was recorded like during the first hiatus.
Yep.
So that would have been around like less than a year.
So there you
Or
have
not
what
even, a
happened
little
when
more
this-
than a year.
when this was when this came out.
Okay, Nate, I'm going to correct you on one thing. It was not the first hiatus, because everybody knows that the real first hiatus was when Ben had his Discord account hacked.
Well, my first hiatus on this channel then.
Yeah.
Second hiatus overall, so.
That was kind of stupid, though.
Indeed, and it's one that we should. What the fuck?
Oh, I shouldn't say stupid. It was bullshit.
Okay. Oh,
Speaking
what the
of
fuck?
bullshit.
This would drive me insane
Yeah.
as well.
Is the rest of the episode going to be like this?
We do. No. This episode, we do. This is not the entire rest of the episode. This is a big portion of the episode.
Okay.
Just
So
like
we do make it through this, and we do. We do get out of the Lambda complex.
but you would have known that the end of the Lambda complex has a warp maze silo thing.
No, I did not shoot. I think maybe one of the times when I get back to that room, I get frustrated and shoot one of the scientists. I don't remember.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Again, this part's really stupid.
Just when you thought you've made it to the end of this thing, no.
No, here's warp puzzles because yeah.
And it's warp puzzles that you don't even remember where you even like went last.
Well, no.
Well.
I would say the bigger annoyance of the warp puzzles is timing the platforms that you can't exactly see
Unless you look up.
Yeah. This is one of those cases where I.
Well,
really
to be
wish
fair,
they-
it shouldn't even be a thing. This shouldn't even have shouldn't even be a thing.
But
This is
Ben,
kind of one
they
of
have
those
to
cases where
showcase
I-
the 3D.
This is kind of one of those cases where I wish they would move the warp point alongside the platforms.
Yep.
But Ben, they have to showcase the capabilities of 3D gaming.
This is not a capability of 3D gaming.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's sort of a little bit of a capability thing. I was kidding, by the way. It's really not at all. So it's like 1, 2, 4, something.
You know, fun fact: did you know they made a Lord of the Rings based on this section? That's why it's called the Two Towers. They're referring to these towers you're climbing.
God damn it.
Uh-huh. This is 1 tower, not 2.
No, this is 2 towers. And also, yeah, the room you're supposed to be in is that room. Me reloading this was just me being stupid and forgetting. So it's a little bit me being dumb. But majority is really annoying as shit. Warp room puzzles.
I didn't get the Lord of the Rings joke there.
Well, we're like scaling a high
tower.
A high area, which you could conceive to be a tower, and one of the Lord of the Rings movies is called The Two Towers.
The
I don't
Two
know how I
Towers.
got stuck. I have no idea how I got stuck.
I don't know how. Yeah, I missed that. I wasn't paying attention.
It happens. I do need to actually watch the Lord of the Rings movies one of these days, but
I need to
I don't know.
rewatch. I have not seen the third one. I've seen the first 2, but not
the
Return
third
of
one,
the King.
Wait,
Return of
which
the
one
King,
is,
yeah.
Fellowship of the Ring. Is that the first?
That's the first
That's
one.
the first one, yeah.
Okay.
It goes Fellowship, Two Towers, Return of the
2
King.
Towers and Return of the King.
Right, and then all the Shadow of Mordor games.
Those take
They're
place
spin-offs.
between Hobbit and
They're spin-offs, really.
yeah.
Oh god, there's Hobbit as well.
At least it's not the Lego Hobbit game.
I mean, I'd still rather play, Lego the Hobbit than Lord of the Rings Gollum. That's for sure.
True.
Which would then ultimately kill the studio making it.
Yeah.
Like
We finally
Forspoken.
made it.
Let me in! Let me in!
Forspoken is one of those kind of cases where, 1 second.
I like the headcanon that the doctor and that the scientist here is Dr. Kleiner.
Dr. Kleiner and Barney.
Yeah, Dr. Kleiner and Barney. Even though we don't see Barney with Kleiner in his game.
But yeah, no, the problem I originally had with Forspoken was that not only was it Square Enix, which I kind of was beefing with at the time for, reasons, I also really didn't like how Square Enix seemed to be pushing $80 games at the time, and I am so glad that didn't become an actual thing, $80 games.
You know as much about these creatures as anyone.
Enough to know that if you don't wipe it out, there won't be much for you to come home to.
Yes.
Look like you're about to shoot him.
You're willing.
No.
He was waiting for you.
No, if you shoot either the scientist or the guard in here, turrets come down and just just destroy you.
So even the game's like, hey, there's some story. Pay attention. Listen to it.
Yep.
I
You're
mean,
not
I
you're
do
not
like
skipping through this shit.
I do like it when games punish you for fooling around. There's this one thing you can do in the first Halo where if you, at the first opportunity where you have a gun, if you go back to shoot like the commander, there will be like 2 invincible super soldiers that spawn in and take you down.
I've done that. Anyway, we
Called
now
the-
have
the,
the long
uh,
jump module.
Also,
Halo.
Really would have
Halo,
helped
the
us
trail
a lot
route.
during a few things.
Also, just to go quickly back to the to Forspoken, do you guys know how much Forspoken is going for right now, physical on PS5?
No idea.
200.
What? It's now time for a defensive mission.
1549.
Okay.
Now is that $1,549?
No, it's $15.49.
Okay.
Well, 15
Okay.
euros, 49 cents,
Okay.
which
okay,
roughly equates to that amount in dollars anyway.
Yeah, so
I thought you said 1,500, and I was like, huh?
Oh no. I mean, I'm pretty
What
sure
we
you can
need to
still buy it
do
digitally, so that
is
wouldn't make any sense.
basically kill all the enemies that are gonna show up.
Start all over again. Don't enter the
Otherwise, you have to start all over again. Luckily, I get this first try. This is not super hard.
And thankfully,
Okay.
even if you did die multiple times, they're safe states.
Yeah.
And
So
they
you-
got like this
so you-
they got like this giant speaker in the ceiling, which
New
can be used
enemies.
to play Disco
Flying
Inferno to
enemies.
really
Because
make
we never
the-
had a flying enemy in this entire fucking game.
Uh-huh.
And no, the helicopters don't count because that's technically
I was
a
gonna
mini-boss.
say, I was about to ask, what about the helicopters?
No, that's
But
a
then,
mini
yeah,
boss. You
answered
only
that, yeah.
you only fight one.
And aren't mini bosses technically like big enemies?
Yeah, the helicopter's big.
I mean, some games treat them like big enemies if you take them after you take them out for the first time.
Yeah,
Bosses are enemies.
yeah,
Kind of the point.
yeah. But the case of the helicopters, you only fight one.
It's still an enemy.
Yeah, you only fight once.
It's still an enemy, even if you fight it once only.
Okay, so I got a question about bosses. Oh god, it's this area.
Exen.
No, Zen.
So
I know.
Do you guys-
I know. I'm joking.
do you guys prefer a game to have a health bar if you're fighting like more powerful than usual kind of type of enemies?
That depends.
Yes.
That depends.
Boss,
Alright.
yes.
No, am I playing? Am I in an RPG? I don't mind. I don't mind it, but it more depends on the RPG. If it's more action based RPG, I don't mind having a health bar, being a health bar. If it's a turn based, I don't mind. I don't mind having a health bar, or seeing their health.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a turn-based RPG, then I mean, I don't really think it matters if it is there or isn't, because, oh, you're halfway through the boss's health, but then psych, health restore. Nom 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 nom. nom.
Not really a lot. Not a lot of turn based bosses do that.
Well,
I
in this
mean,
day and age, anyway.
I mean, I would still say that
The
Kamoshida
only-
is a
Kamoshida
that.
is basically just to introduce the separation mechanic thing.
I mean, Madarame does something pretty similar. I think.
No, he just
so
no
does,
he no he, no. Madarame basically just, if I remember correctly, it's been years since I played 5. Does the multi-clone thing.
Yeah, but if you like take down multiple of those pieces, he can restore them and get them
Yeah.
back up with half health.
But those are help. Those are assistants. More a good a better example for that mechanic, Victor. Final Fantasy X, the second battle against Seymour. He has a little bug assistant with him that when it runs out of health will drain HP from him to restore its health. But it also has cure up, so it will cure him. So mechanic for that boss, put the spell onto Seymour, and which basically turns Lulu into nothing for this fight because she can't hit him. But it also means that
Seymour,
the extra can't heal Seymour.
is Seymour the one where you can take him down just by giving him a Phoenix down?
No, that's Revray in zombie
Okay.
form.
Yeah, I never played a Final Fantasy game, so
Yeah, no, that's Revray. Evray in
Okay.
Evray. Yeah.
Evray, yeah. Well, zombie Evray, but
Yeah.
still.